guys. Welcome to the sewing and what we're going to call it, the sewing, the decorating, the whatever we want to talk about and have a laugh about podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
You listen to us while you're sewing. Let's just spin it that way.
Yeah, or whatever you're doing.
And if there's anything like sewing related that we want to talk about, then we can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So last week, the video didn't show your cushion properly, so we have to go back and show that cushion again.
Oh, you should have told me. I've got to go and get it.
You've been sat there all that time and you didn't have it. Welcome to today's podcast, everybody. I hope you're having a nice week. Thank you so much for joining us. Here she is. I didn't take long.
It's in my bedroom.
So just put it in front of the camera.
Is it that way?
Yeah. So I'm not going to change the screens because last time I changed the screen, it messed up. And it was funny because Butterfly on the Wall was saying, I can't see your mum, I can't see your mum. And I should have clicked that the camera wasn't working. So look at that. Can we zoom in on some of the details, Mum? Let's have a look at the flower and that.
That's the big flower there.
So what did you do it with? Have you done it? So it is fabric that you've used, yeah?
It's
Felt.
Yes, the flowers. I use felt. I found it easy to work with, actually, felt.
Well, the thing with felt, when you work with felt, is that, even that really nice green colour is felt.
Yeah, it's felt, yeah.
I've never seen that colour before.
No, it was from the market in Blackburn. It's really nice. It's a nice little market there.
I wonder if they have a pale, do you know that kind of pale purple colour goes really nice with that kind of pale green. You have to go down a bit. There you go. There's Bumblebee. So I kind of like his stripy black stripes.
It was just a bit of what this wool I had it in the house. At home already.
And his little smile.
Yeah, he's smiling. And he's going to go.
Do you know what you should have done? I'm just thinking, you should have put little legs on him.
Oh, yeah. He's got them tucked under his belly.
Oh, you should have done this and you should have done that.
I know.
I love that. Does it make you smile?
Oh, yeah. So that was that thing. So what have you been up to? Have you had a good week?
Well, I was making my secret project, so I'm not going to show that on live. And obviously I made my tutorial this Wednesday, which was my it matches.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So I made a DIY fabric twine pencil holder. And if you want to know how to make this, go and have a look. So you had said that you thought I lined it in the middle, so I'm going to show you what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's just, I'm not going to name a brand, it's just a popular brand of potato chips.
Oh,
so I just washed it out.
It's really nice inside, isn't it?
It is. I just pop all my pens in.
That's a really good thing for kids to do, isn't it?
It is.
It's a really good thing for anybody, really, but a kiddie thing. Keep them occupied. Doing the.
So if you want to know how to make the twine, or you want to know how to make the DIY pencil holder, go and have a look at my tutorial.
It's something good for the children to do, to make the twine as well, the fabric twine out of the scrappy fabric.
Not so much the pencil holder because you have to use that hot gun, and I mean, I burned myself with that thing.
I know, but there's a lot of children that use that, isn't there? Those hot guns.
Yeah. Another thing I did make is this. So that's in process right now.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely, isn't it? Nice. Is that actually for somebody?
Yeah, it's for a client who I did their, she had twins, and I made a frame for the twins. And then she had another one, like just recently, like February the 5th, it was, 2020. Do you know, I was looking at the times of the babies that were born. Why is it babies always are born at like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning? What's the deal with that?
Do you know, I can't remember what time you were born at. I think you was born in like early. You were born in like later on in the morning, I think. I can't remember.
Oh, so I wasn't born at like the dead of the like 3 in the morning.
No.
I'm starting to wonder if all babies are born like at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm like, oh, and I'm wondering whether that happens because you get, you know, a bit more like tired, and you're just like, I don't know. But like this one was born at 2:31 a.m. and I think her twins were born at some like similar time.
Oh, okay. It's probably just, I don't know, it's just coincidence. I don't know.
I guess. So there's that, and there's also. Did I show that or not?
Yeah, but have you done any more? You've done some more, haven't you?
I haven't done any more. And do you know what? I'm going to focus on this. Focus a bit more on this. Because I don't know whether to do with it. I don't know whether to make it into a zipper bag or make it into an actual bag. Just look at it. It's so cool.
I like it. It's lovely. I really like that. It's really good. Have you managed to take any paper out yet? Or are you leaving it? What are you going to do? Have you tried taking it out?
Would you be quiet about the paper? I can't take the paper out.
Oh, why?
Because I've glued it, haven't I? I don't know whether to get a pair of scissors in on there and like try and rip it, but this is really thick paper. This is not like thin paper. And do you know what I should have just done? And you said it and somebody else said it. I should have just folded the fabric over the thick cardboard, removed the cardboard and just sewn the pieces together.
Yes.
You're like, yes.
Well, what I said is that you should have tacked the cardboard, tack it, like so it's like not like close in, you know what I mean? Just so it's 3/4 of the inch in, you know what I mean?
I think when you're sewing it, you're supposed to just grab it by a hair. And at some points, I've gone through the actual paper.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? So you're just sewing just a hair of the actual, the pieces.
Yes.
But I think some of the paper is like pushed that far into the thing that I've actually not been careful and gone through the paper.
All right.
But it's looking really cool.
It is. It's very. Those little tiny diamond shapes, you know, the kite shape, they're nice as well, aren't they? I love it.
They are. And I think a lot of it comes down to what colours you use as well, hey? Because I think if you were to use everything as a scrap fabric, then these would have blended in a bit too much. I think you definitely, when you're doing it scrappy like this, I think you need to keep one of these sections as just scrappy and the other section is like bold fabric.
Yeah.
And because I had so much scrap fabric to use, it was silly using my bold print on the actual hexagons rather than using, like I went with the smaller bits for using my bold fabric, and to get rid of some of my scraps, I used these bigger pieces for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are your
Yeah, so that's
eyelashes
really
going?
I finished it.
So I don't think we actually got a good shot of that either, eh? Last week. Okay, if you needed a good laugh today, this is definitely it. Oh, you did a bumblebee again. You didn't have a bumblebee on it last time, did you?
No, I didn't know.
But so, I really think you should have put legs on it.
I still can, I suppose.
Look at that. Mum, I love that. I love that one better than the other one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and I think it's because of the Google eyes. I'm just so silly.
The eyelashes.
Mm-hmm. The eyelashes and the Google eyes. Do you know when I do stuff like this, I'm just giggling to myself, hey, it's so funny.
I know, I thought, you sort of think to yourself, don't you, am I sane or what? You know what I mean?
Am I sane? I think to myself, am I sane or what? Am I right, me?
It's him just thinking about going out and buying some eyelashes for my cushion.
That's a good idea, though. Did you sew the eyelashes on, or did you glue them on?
No, I've not glued them on either. They're just like, there's just the sticky stuff on them.
Because you're not going to be able to wash them like that, though, are you?
I'll just have to take the eyelashes off.
Put them back on again.
The new ones.
I'm surprised you didn't get like pink eyelashes.
Oh yeah, I think I might have done if it was yellow or something like that. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Eh?
Because it's just Halloween just before, so that they should have some sort of like coloured eyelashes right now.
Oh yeah, do you know, I never thought to look at the Halloween stuff. There'd been some really spectacular ones, wouldn't there? You know what I mean?
Oh, glittery ones.
Yeah. Well, not stuck them down, so I could always change them.
Just like with the seasons, so like when you get into summer, they get like pastel, and when you go into like, you just keep changing them. Oh, I was saying to Neil just this morning, the Christmas tree is going up on the 12th. I'm like, that's like coming up.
Oh, what, the 12th of November?
Oh, I always put it up right after Veterans Day, right after like Remembrance Day, that day, the 12th of November, I always put my Christmas tree up.
Oh, right.
Because that is why I'm so sick of my Christmas tree by the time it comes to the 1st of January, because you know me, as soon as it's 1st of January, it's like, I want it down. I'm sick of seeing it now. Yeah. Down. But I think it just gives you something to look forward to. Like, I just love being in the living room with like my Christmas tree lights on and my Christmas tree. It's like,
nice,
it makes it feel homely.
It does. And it's funny when you take your tree down, it looks really bare, doesn't it? For a bit?
It does, but I'm already thinking like, because I have the cat tree in front of the window, and it's like, where am I going to put that cat tree? I always seem to move these cat trees around.
Well, it's good for them as well, isn't it? Have a different position to have a look at.
Well, my cats have extremely disappointed me, because like the first year it went up, like Gatsby was always in it, and then the second year Gatsby and Earl were in it, and then last year they weren't even bothered about it. But if I wanted them away from my tree, they would be in the tree, but because I'm not bothered about them going up the tree, they don't want to go up the tree. I'm like, oh, you guys.
And Sophie, she's never been in it. She's never done anything like that. No.
Here's me wanting my cats to be naughty, and then they're like, no, we're good, Mum. We're not going to go up your tree. Like, why won't we climb up your tree?
It's weird, isn't it? I remember them being in the tree, because you can see their little faces coming out the tree, can't you?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's really cute. It's cute.
I was watching, so do you remember when I was watching Edwardian Farm, the BBC documentary? Well, on Amazon Prime, they've got Victorian Farm now.
Oh,
So I'm
really?
watching Victorian Farm.
Oh, what, have you been watching that this week?
I was watching yesterday a couple of episodes of it, and I don't, just the accent, because I've been away from England for so long, and I'm hearing this like, it's just like the Cornish accent, and it's just it's hysterical to listen to it.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a like a quirky accent.
There's definitely a twang to it, and Neil's there like that guy just sounds like Jim Broadbent. So they had to make like this pigsty, but like anything that they do has to be like relevant to the time, eh? So it has to be Victorian times. So, and then the woman, Ruth, was like having to do it. So wash day is basically the whole week, eh? Like the whole week is wash day. So like one day would be about removing like the dirt from the clothes. Another day was about rinsing the clothes. Another day was about like rinsing them all out. Because didn't you say that your mum used to have one of them things where you turn it through like a piece of pasta and it would wring all the water out?
Oh no, I had one of those.
You had one, and then you said you were like, you wished that you hadn't got rid of it.
Well, to tell you the truth, if you folded it, like your sheets or anything that was like flat, and it come out, you could get it so you didn't need ironing or anything.
But you still hung them up on the. Did you hang them up on the wash line though?
Yeah. But if you get it in such a way that you fold everything just sort of like neatly, when you wring it out a little bit. I mean, it is quite awkward with like your sheets and everything. But if you just fold them up into a certain thing and you spread them through, it comes out and it's quite straight, and it's when they're flapping on the line and everything, there's no creases in them. Really good.
So then she was like ironing with like a proper iron that you actually heat up on the argo or whatever you call them.
It's like a big metal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and then she had to have this great big massive cloth around the handle, and she kept on talking and looking at the camera. I'm like, oh, like just watch where your hands going. Knowing me, I would have burnt myself like 3,000 times.
I know, they would have had a couple of them, wouldn't they?
So like one's like heating up, and then the other one is like it's like working kind of thing.
Use and the other one heating up, yeah.
So basically, by the time she'd got all the clothes cleaned by Saturday, it was then time again to like start washing them on Monday. So there was like on wash day, you have to get up. Like there was a whole manual for them back then. And then on wash day, you have to like wake up at like 2 a.m. to start doing your washing. Imagine if you had to do that nowadays. Get up at 2 a.m. to do your washing. You're like, no thanks. And then she had one of these things. So she put all the stuff in a bucket, and then she had this long stick with like, I don't know, like prongs on the end of it. And you basically just had to go like this. Yeah. So you were basically just mimicking the movement of a washing machine. And she said that you have to do it for like an hour. Because if you think about how long your wash cycle is going on for on your washing machine, that's like you basically have to do that like twice as long. She was like sweating, poor girl.
Yeah. Gosh, it must have been some kind of exercise, that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. It's very critical. They must have had really strong arms. And the wrist, because it'd be working your wrists and everything as well. Gosh.
And then don't forget, like, everything like back then, like you didn't have like TVs and you didn't have like internet and that. Like life was basically just like you were working, you were like you grew your stuff and you sold it and you kept it yourself kind of thing. But everyone, like on the Edwardian farm, they concentrated on getting cider done, and on Victorian farm they're like, right, we're making cider. I'm like, you guys are always making cider. Hiya, gorgeous. Are you gonna say hello? Are you going to say hello to the internet world? Hey.
Oh,
Say
she's
hello.
beautiful. Hello, Sophie. Beautiful. Beautiful cat. She's beautiful. Oh,
Look at her eyes.
I know. She said, what are you doing? Put me down.
I know. Leave me alone. See, I've been into like watching that Edwardian farm and just watching all the stuff. Like, it just amazes me. Like some of the technology that they use, like they were just literally just built by like wood. And then you would just like turn it, or the only thing that they were ever used for like the mechanical purposes were like the horses. The horses just did a lot of the work. They had this Shire horse and it was like huge. Neil was there like, either that woman is tiny or that horse is like huge. I'm like, no, the horse is huge.
Yeah, the Shire horses are, because that's what they're built for, aren't they? They're built for that.
Yeah.
Pulling the big, massive, heavy carts and that, aren't they?
Yeah.
This strong beasts.
Yeah, I'm so into watching stuff like historical stuff like that. I'm hoping that they do something about like sewing and stuff like that again, because they would have had to have done sewing.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, they would have done. Definitely.
So like she because they have to do a load of work like during the day, they never had enough like time to like have any like leisure activities or whatever. So and also because you didn't have any light sources, like it was all done by lamp because you don't have any electricity, you had to make sure that anything that needs to be done by light had to get done like ahead of time. And then anything that didn't need any light source, then it doesn't kind of matter. But she wanted to make one of the guys some braces, do you know, for his pants. And so in the evening, she would sit like at night time and do some like and embroidered these like braces for him, but so they could have like a Victorian Christmas.
Oh, right.
So it was so sweet. So then they showed like a little bit of the Victorian Christmas, and they were handing each other presents. And then he gave her a copy of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. She was just like over the moon, eh?
Oh, right. It was simple things, weren't it, them days? Everything seems so complicated now.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be. Life is as complicated as you want it to be at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. So it was really good. I've been really enjoyed watching it. The thing is, I binge watch these programs so much that I end up finishing it and then I'm to find something else to watch, which is a shame because it's hard for me to find something.
I know it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially like documentaries and that you'd be interested in.
Yeah, I love interesting documentaries. So anybody who has an interesting documentary, let me know. Comment. That was another thing that they featured was plum Christmas pudding.
Oh, right. Why don't you like?
No, thank you. It's so super rich.
Why? What did they put in it? You remember?
Well, it was like gin. Did they put gin in Christmas pudding?
I've never heard about gin. I thought it was sherry or brandy.
Brandy. I think so. They put brandy in it, and it was like just loads of like fruit and that. It's just Christmas pudding is like so rich for me. And then don't they serve it with brandy sauce, like a custard, like brandy custard?
Yeah. I'm not keen on that. I'm not keen on that. I don't know if it is an English thing, that, isn't it, I think.
Mm-hmm. It is an English thing.
But no, I'm not keen on that at all. I don't like it.
You used to like Christmas pudding though, didn't you?
I like Christmas pudding, yeah. Christmas cake.
Christmas.
Well, Christmas cake and wedding cake are the same, aren't they? Basically.
I remember making one way back when, and I started making my Christmas cake around about June sometime, and then I kept on putting alcohol in it like every month, wrapping it back up with tin foil, and then actually it was pretty good.
You turn it, don't you? Yeah, you put it and then you turn it one way, then you turn it the other way.
It was really good.
I bet it was, with all the alcohol in it.
Well, I wouldn't be eating it now, would I? Because I don't drink alcohol anymore. I'm really pedantic about that sort of thing now. I don't like to have anything with alcohol in it anymore.
No, I know. I'm a bit like that as well. I don't really like.
Do you know when you see like Stollen and they put alcohol in it? It's like, why? Just leave the alcohol out.
I know. I didn't know that they did that in the Stollen.
Mm-hmm. Neil was going to buy some like last year, and I was like, no, I don't want it with alcohol in it. It's pretty hard to find sometimes with no alcohol in it.
I actually did not know that.
I'm just going to stop talking because my mum always says I can never get a word in edgeways because you always talk all the time. So I'm going to stop talking and just stare at her. And she's like, I don't know what to talk about.
I don't know what to talk about now. Anyway, I don't know. I was thinking about making a cushion cover with carrots on.
Where the carrots come from?
I just fancy doing something with carrots. I don't know. I don't know if vegetables. I might give it to somebody as somebody wants to do. She's doing what you call it, like growing vegetables and everything, and they want one of those like a tunnel.
Oh
so
yeah.
I was going to do something like that, so I'll give it to her. She can maybe put it in a raffle or something, to get the money for this tunnel.
Yeah.
Because it's that living off the grid kind of thing.
I was just watching a documentary this morning about some people that living off grid.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yeah. Building your own home and everything. I've always liked these log cabins. This thing about these log cabins and that.
Sophie's like on her rounds now. She's going to start walking everywhere, so I'm going to have to maneuver everything when she like starts walking. Mum, I want to go over here. Okay, Sophie, you go over there. Mum, I want to go over here. Okay, you go over there. Roberta's here. Hi, Roberta.
Oh, hello, Roberta. How are you?
So Roberta, we're kind of like running out of things to say. You're going to have to tell us what you're making this week, please.
And how are you? And have you had a busy week? What are you making?
How many questions are we going to throw at her? Just keep going.
Yeah, I know.
I have a cat that's just walking around everywhere. Hey? She's been a loving girl today.
Oh.
So what am I going to make? I was thinking of making a hand sanitizer holder for a bag.
Yeah. For a bag?
Yeah. So, but obviously hand sanitizer are different sizes. So I'm going to have to just turn around and say, you're going to have to draw around the hand sanitizer bottle yourself and make sure that you've got like an inch over the actual bottle of whatever. I'm going to have to just like direct people on how to make it or whatever. So I've got this weird cough again. It's kind of annoying. You're coughing down the microphone. I think it's because sometimes it's because if I'm drinking a hot drink or I'm drinking a cold drink, it aggravates it even more.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
What are you things you have to do for cats and children, eh?
So, but Mum, I want to be on. People want to look at me. People are bored of you.
You've moved some things around, haven't you? She's investigating.
I did move some things around. Okay, so Roberta says, I'm doing good. She says, I'm working on some hand piecing today. Oh, Roberta, here you go. Just going to show it just for you again. So this is how far I've got on my hand piecing, my English paper piecing. I actually quite enjoy it. It's very therapeutic.
It'd be nice doing that, listening to some nice music.
Yeah. She says, I have to finish. I have 2 books to finish. Then the fun part begins with doing the sashing. Oh, so the sashing is like an inside border, Mum. So if you do like a block and then you do a long sashing, she's just like wrecking the show over here. Can you hear? Sophie. She's like batting my I've got a seam ripper that's hung up on the side here, and she's just gone batting everything. So what is there? What can I destroy?
Something that she wants them to play with. This looks good. I'll just knock this about a bit.
It looks fun. I'm not used to her coming into the room and like being like this. So yeah, I did move my room around because I'm getting a new computer. So, and then you were there like, well, how big is this computer? You're having to move everything.
Oh, yeah, why? What is it?
Well, generally, do you remember in the old days how they used to have computers? There used to be a stand unit on the floor, and there used to be a separate monitor, didn't they? And then laptops came out, and then the screen is attached to the actual machine kind of thing. But with laptops, you can also attach an external screen to them as well. So I want a certain laptop, but the screen size isn't so big. And I thought, well, I might as well get the powerful laptop and then just get an additional monitor screen and make the screen and get the bigger screen. It makes more sense.
How big's the screen?
Well, it's a curved one. It's a curved monitor, so it comes like it curves.
Oh, right.
It's really nice. And I think the screen is probably, I don't know, it might be like 20 inches maybe. Like, what is she doing? Hey. She's like off camera here. I don't know, maybe I should just put a camera on her and you can see what she's doing. Let's have cat cam.
Oh, she's on Zoom, lot.
When your cat has more presence than you do.
Oh. She's gorgeous.
So yeah, well, what happened is every time I kind of open my laptop up, it was bashing against my threads, like my big thread holder. I bet you're just watching the cat now, aren't you?
Oh, I love her. She's good. I love her.
So I had to move the thread holder because it was in the way of my threads. And then I had to move I thought, well, there's no point in having the other threads that was at the side of it. Do you remember there was some other threads on another thread holder? So I moved all of them. I took the whole pegboard down and then reorganized the whole pegboard.
Oh, right, yeah.
You're like, what's she looking at? We have this new cat litter and it sticks to the bottom, and I need to get back onto the old cat litter. I don't like it. Hey, girl. So no, I don't want to be on camera anymore. I'm camera shy.
She's not doing anything wrong. I don't know what you were doing. You're saying she's doing something.
So the two smaller things here in the background. I put them up here.
Yeah.
And then the bigger thread. Do you know, I've never found, like, I can't get my sewing room exactly how I want it to be. That's one of the problems.
It's because you need to go to the basement.
I need to go to the basement. It's like I keep on having to move everything all the time, and I don't feel like I've actually accomplished the space that I want to create. Do you know what I mean?
You've outgrown it, haven't you? It's got bigger.
But I was at my friend's house the other day looking at her sewing room, and like hers is like tinier than mine, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the things I actually regret doing when I like created my sewing room is not have, but I don't like facing away from the door. I want to face the door, but I don't like the fact that somebody can creep up behind me.
Yeah, I know.
When I say someone, I'm talking about my husband, because obviously nobody else can creep up behind me, but... But you know what I mean? Like, you're busy doing something and then all of a sudden, I don't like that. And I think somebody said put like a bell on there or something, like a bell. Ding!
Yeah.
Everyone's quiet today. Nobody's saying anything. So Roberta's going to have to do this sessional by hand.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I actually quite like hand sewing now that I've tried it.
Yes. Yeah, it can be quite therapeutic.
I feel as though you do have more of an element of control over the stitch when you're doing the hand sewing than you do with
it's a bit more therapeutic, I think, as well. You know what I mean? Because you're having to concentrate more on it.
But the only thing is that it does hurt your fingers after a while.
Yeah, I suppose so. You need to find something that's comfortable for you whatever thing you use to pull it through.
It's not just that I need to figure out how I want to hand sew, because 1 minute I'll be doing one thing and the next minute I'll be doing another thing. I need to just get comfortable with the actual what I'm doing kind of thing. Don't know. I need to do some hand sewing. I'm going to do some hand sewing later maybe. I do want to do some other decluttering as well. I don't know. I've got 10 million things that I want to do again, like I do all the time.
Your monkey mind.
And I made cottage pie. I made cottage pie yesterday, because cottage pie is made with beef and shepherd's pie is made with lamb. Hence cottage and shepherd. So Roberta says, this quilt and another I want to all by hand, including she's going to do the quilting by hand as well. I was talking to a friend about that the other day as well, about quilting by hand, and her mum used to quilt by hand as well. So what I want to know is, well, you can do elaborate design, because she was saying how she does the quilting by hand is you literally put the hoop in one of them hand frames, or you have a loom. Do you know in these old Victorian films where you see them sewing and they've got like a great big massive thing pulled up to them, and it's like it's kind of like big like that. Well, that's how you can do your hands quilting. You actually support it in a frame and you do it by hand that way. And don't forget, you can use the pens to help guide you as well. So you use the heat erasable pens, or you use chalk to mark it, and then you go ahead and you just like follow the lines. I don't know why people seem to think that you have to do it all from your head. Like, we've got these tools, we can use the tools, and it's not cheating because you've drawn it. You've drawn it, so it's not cheating.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how to do the binding without using a machine. Any ideas? Because obviously I do hands, when I do the binding, when I pull it over to the front, I will hand bind the front, but I can see it like, because you want it to be... Would you not just go in and come back out, go in, come back out, go in, come back out, go in, come back out, like that? And then when you pull it over, it's going to hide the stitches anyway.
How do you do that invisible stitching?
But you wouldn't have to hide it. You wouldn't have to hide the hand sewing stitch, like when you first attach that hand binding, because you flip it over anyway to hide them stitches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I think you'll be okay just doing a hand stitching, just a regular running stitch.
Yeah.
The only thing is, how do you keep it straight? I guess that's what Roberta means. Because if you're going up on this binding strip, I'm assuming what you're going to have to do is probably mark the binding with a pen, attach it with wonder clips, and then do the running stitch all the way along that line. And then when you flip it over, you've got a perfect line of running stitches that you've lined up. No, I think it's possible. That's how I would go about it. But then again, I don't think I would hand sew a binding. So good luck with that one.
Well, I think I'd do a back stitch on, when you do it originally. Yeah, I'd do a back stitch.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like, so you're going over that stitch to score the stitch. But I actually think she's wondering, like, how do you make sure that it's straight all the way up? Because you attach the binding, don't you? It's not sewn on. And you want to make sure that that line that you'd like sewing is going to be perfectly straight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that she's going to either have to, like, rather than actually just putting a line on the binding, sometimes instead of like putting lines on things, I'll actually iron a crease. I'll fold the thing over and create a crease. So you don't
that's what I would do
a line out of pen.
I think I would do that. Iron it. To make
what do you think, Roberta? What do you think of them ideas? I had somebody message me yesterday because they were watching my famous how to attach Velcro to fabric. So the question is they can't find the colour for the Velcro, and the only Velcro that they could find was sticky back Velcro. In a certain colour that they wanted. I don't know, they're probably making a garment or something, so they wanted the Velcro to match the garment. And the problem is that when I was teaching how to do it, you've got to use a non-sticky Velcro, because the problem is that Velcro is super, super sticky. The glue stuff, and it's supposed to be sticky for a reason, because you're not sewing it, you're sticking it to things, so it's highly sticky. So I was saying to her, I was like, well, you're not going to be able to do it with a sewing machine. The only way that you could do it is possibly get the non-stick needles, but I still think even then it's good, because when it goes through the Velcro to that extremely sticky like back and it's coming back out, it's coating the needle in like goo, because it's so much glue on it. So it's creating it, so it's really hard to sew. So I said, like, I don't want to say this, but you're obviously going to have to hand sew it if you want it to be sewed down. And then later on, I was thinking, oh no, maybe you could get the glue off the Velcro. If you really wanted to use that colour.
Well, I suppose she could, if she's got a fabric, she could cover the sticky side and stick it. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, that's another good idea. Why did I not use my brain? Yeah.
Why don't you just put some fabric on the?
Yeah, cut a thinner layer. No, but the problem is it's still sticky. That's the problem. The problem's the glue.
No, if she puts you put some fabric onto the sticky side.
No, but the glue's still going to be on the back of the Velcro. So when you're sewing it, it's still going to have glue on the needle as it comes up.
You think so?
Yeah. They need to get rid of the glue somehow. And there must be a way. I mean, I've got some products down here that get rid of, like, they have products called Goo-Gone and other products that take, like, like sticky surfaces and sticky residues or whatever away from things.
Oh.
So maybe that's what they're going to have to do. I don't know. So Roberta says that she likes the idea about marking the binding to attach, then sew it on. Yeah, either mark it with a pen or perhaps try marking it with an iron. So you're just creating a crease.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how accurate you might be able to do that, because you know, if you're trying to like fold something over, how accurate you're going to be able to get that quarter seam as you're folding it over.
I always iron mine when I'm doing everything. I iron it so you can see then that it down, so it's not going to, so it doesn't move on you.
Yeah,
that's how I do my. If I'm wanting to do a straight line, I'll iron, so even both sides.
But hang on a minute, you've done hand binding, haven't you? You've put binding on things without using a sewing machine, yeah?
Yeah, that's how I've done it. I've done it with an iron. I've ironed the creases, so it's and then it's straight. All I've done is iron it.
But how would you attach it when you first put that first side on? Do you just do a back stitch on that first bit to secure that first bit of binding before you flip it over?
Yeah, I do that. Then I take it back down, to an iron or whatever. When I've done it, I back stitch it all, and then when you flip it over, then you can see how much you want it. How much you want it.
Because like when you flip it over, you're going to see the stitches on the other side, so you want to cover them other stitches on the other side. You know what I mean? And also it depends which way you want to flip as well, because I think sometimes it's more forgiving if you actually do. I think on a quill, I prefer to.
I've actually done it on. I did it on this cushion because.
No, you need to move it a bit more.
This fabric.
We can't see it. I can only see the tip. I can't see the binding.
Let me turn it over that way. I did it on this because this fabric. This fabric frays. So I put I put a binding on that, and that's all I did with that. I ironed it to get my straight line, but I've sewn it on. I've sewn it on with the sewing machine.
No, but she wants to do it by hand.
Yeah, but it's just the same principle, really. I've done it. I did it with the sewing machine, but I could have easily, if I wanted to, I could have done it by hand.
So, the question for you: why don't you use your overlock stitch?
I know. I was thinking about that, and I thought, no, just to make sure. I wanted to put a binding on because if this stuff frays really badly, and it's like you said, if you're going to make something, you've said it in loads of your things, make sure you do something so it's not going to fray. Yeah. And I know you do your overlap, but I still think that it would have frayed at some point. So I wanted to make it stronger. I've done it on both. Cute, that. I've done it on both of them. I've done it on that one as well, the other one, for the googly eyes. So I've done that. It doesn't matter. It's the same principle as what she's going on about. So I've attached that so the fabric won't fray.
Yeah.
I could have done it by hand. If I was going to do something by hand, I would have done the same thing, the same principle. So that's not going to fray at all now. No way.
So okay, I can mark it or use the wonder clips to follow. The wonder clips hit the 1/4 inch mark. I think I see what she did. Iron the binding in half and then blind stitch both sides. Yeah.
I mean, when I've done things as well by hand, I've always done stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just to secure things to make it like stronger.
What do they call it? Do they call it a French seam or no? Is it a Singapore seam? Or no, it's a Hong Kong seam, isn't it? It's a Hong Kong seam because they put binding on the inside of garments like that. That's when you know you're buying something really expensive. So if you look at like a designer dress or anything like designer and it's got that Hong Kong seam, like you've done that pillow, that means it's a good quality garment.
Oh, well, there you go then. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I've done that. I've been doing that for like quite a few years, really. You know what I mean? When I've done things.
But you've been taught that somewhere down the line to do that, haven't you?
No, I just did it on my own. I didn't even know anything about that. I know about the French seam because the French seam is because.
So no, it's not a French seam because the French seam is where you hide the seam, isn't it?
No, you sew
You
it.
kind of you envelope that seam in.
No, you sew it the right way. No, you sew it the wrong way, don't you? You sew it the wrong way together. Then you bring it back to the front. Then I've forgotten how to do it now. It's like you sew it together.
I have a video on it somewhere.
Is it you sew it together on the front, then you take it back and you do it sort of like back to front, then you sew it again round. So it's like a really secure like seam then, isn't it? That's it, isn't it?
It's basically enclosing the whole seam inside like its own little pouch kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. So it goes inside itself. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that I was doing what I was doing that is that. I've never heard of it before. I've always just done.
I'll send you a picture of a Hong Kong seam.
But I've seen them in clothing. I know what you mean, but I didn't know that I've been doing that for like many years, and I didn't realise that what it was called because I just thought of it myself. I didn't.
But you haven't seen it in clothing just recently, have you? I very rarely see it.
You do see it in like those, like you said, it's like more exquisite stuff, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
I have seen it, yeah.
It's early now. Are you coming early? He's just walking around talking to himself.
Oh.
Oh, Butterfly on the Wall isn't here though, is she? Roberta's here. We're happy to see Roberta.
Oh, is she not there yet? Well, she came in a bit later last time, didn't she?
She did, and sometimes I start these lives really early. Okie dokie, should we go? I really can't think of anything to talk about.
No, I can't this week, neither, no.
And I keep on saying, let's make sure that we have something to talk about.
I know, I'm just so busy, to be honest. I'm still on in the workload thing. It forced me to pick up another shift again, and I didn't want to do it. I phoned 2 people up to see the text 2 people to see the shift. Then I get a text saying, "Can you do that shift?" Because I knew about it before, so I tried phoning people up before they text me. And I get in. I'm really sorry, Dick. Can't do it.
You're like, I don't want to work. I want to concentrate on my house and my sewing.
Oh dear. I suppose I shouldn't moan about it because it's work I feel at the end of the day, isn't it?
No, you shouldn't moan about it. Stop moaning.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's say bye to the nice people on the internet from Mum.
From Mum. Bye-bye, Roberta. Thank you very much for coming. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Roberta. Thank you very much for coming. We always appreciate you coming on. Okay. Say bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye from Mum.
Bye.
Bye.